The spring batch of anime is going to start up soon, and you need to know what to watch. From major sequels, hyped up new series, or possible hidden gems, these are some of the most anticipated shows for the upcoming season. Before I begin rattling them all off, please drop a like and subscribe so your most hyped show turns out good. Now then, let's begin. First, the sequels of shows I haven't watched personally, but you should probably know are airing soon. To start off with, Fire Force is back for its third season with David Productions still in charge. Killing Slimes for 300 Years sees a change to Studio Teddy for its second season. Cloverworks continues its adaptation of Windbreaker for season 2. The comedy slice of life Aharon-san has Felix Films return for its sequel season. Yoastar continues its production of quintessential quintuplet author Negi Haruba's Go-Go Loser Ranger with season 2. There's another Cloverworks sequel with a new season of Black Butler covering the Emerald Witch arc. From the same author as Hyoka, Shoshiman returns after nearly a year with Lap and Track still in charge of the animation. And last, Bye Bye Earth has a second season with Linen Films still at the helm. Now, after all those sequels, we have the wait and see shows. Once, I'm gonna wait for the consensus after an episode or two, then decide if it's worth watching or not. To kick us off, we see a new anime from Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo director Shinichiro Watanabe being the MAPPA original Lazarus. In the year 2052, humanity has faced years of peace and prosperity due to a miracle drug called Hapuna. However, after a few years pass, the drug's creator, Dr. Skinner, returns from his disappearance to announce anyone who has taken the drug will die in roughly 3 years' time and an age of death is coming. Now, to save humanity from Skinner's plans, a special group called Lazarus is formed with the goal of both finding Skinner and making a vaccine before time runs out. Going into a prequel spin-off of the My Hero Academia franchise, we see MHA Vigilantes by Bones Film. The spotlight shines on professional heroes who are legally licensed to use their quirks for the greater good, something Koichi is unable to do with his middle-of-the-road sliding quirk. Despite this, he tries to use his quirk to complete good deeds each day, until his life turns around when an illegal hero, known as a vigilante, saves him within a back alley. Seeing potential in Koichi, the vigilante Knuckle Duster recruits him to work in the shadows of the law to track down a dangerous drug named Trigger that can enhance quirks but damage people's rationales. Next up is the reincarnation story The Beginning After the End, a web manga adaptation by Studio ACAD. Gray is the strongest king in history, achieved for his outstanding power, wealth, and fame. However, due to this, there is no one on his level, and there is no one who he can trust, leading to his lonely, unexpected death. Luckily for him, he is granted a second life by being born as Arthur, a powerless infant in a world of magic. Now surrounded by a loving family, Arthur begins to experience new moments of joy he never had from his life as Gray. That is, until his new family is attacked by bandits, sparking a new adventure in the second life. And next we have... oh Jesus Christ. Probably the most degenerate anime this season, we see Please Put Them On Takamine-san get adapted by Liden Films. Takane Takamine seems to be great at everything, from sports to school, making all those around her envious. Her secret, however, is discovered by classmate Kushi Shirota, who's bewildered when he notices the A student taking off her underwear after she receives a test back with an imperfect score. In an instant, however, everything resets and now Takamine's score is perfect. When confronted, Takamine reveals her part to be the Eternal Virgin Road, which allows her to redo past actions as long as she takes off a piece of lingerie. Yes, I am reading this plot correctly. Shirota is then blackmailed into carrying extra pairs of underwear for Takamine as she plans to use this ability to stay on top of the school's hierarchy for the rest of her time there. I'm sure nothing else I cover today will come close to this level of degenerate. Hopefully. Getting into a more wholesome rom-com, we have Danjoru, Can a Boy and a Girl Friendship Hold Up, being animated by JC staff. Within a small-town junior high, Hirami Inuzuka and Yu Natsume pledge a lifelong friendship to one another, leading to their relationship to have little development over the next couple of years. Now, both in high school, Himari, who has yet to discover her first love, claims that she'll take responsibility for Yu if he cannot find anyone himself. But once Yu reunites with his first crush, gears begin to turn, and Himari must do something to escape the ideal friendship she had set up years ago. Changing it up, we leave Japan for the Chinese anime To Be Hero X, a joint project from PB Animation, Land Studio, and Paper Plane Animation. Heroes are created by people's trust, which is calculated as data and displayed on a hero's wrist, with X having the highest amount. This system allows even ordinary people to gain superpowers, as if they gain enough trust points, these people can become superheroes themselves. However, the path of heroes could face sudden changes, as the ever-changing trust system creates new paths full of unknowns. Coming from the creator of Sket Dance and Astra Lost in Space, we see the biggest Shonen Jump show of the season with Witch Watch. Nico Wakatsuki has finished her 6 long years of witch training and is now moving back to town by herself. She must pick a familiar to accompany her. However, she strays from the usual by not picking animal, but a childhood friend Otogi, who happens to be an ogre. Otogi is initially resistive, but begrudgingly accepts the role after learning his unpleasant fate if he disobeys a witch. The two see themselves living together in the same home, and with both of Nico's parents away, Otogi must put up with Nico's magical antics while also protecting her from a grim fate that should meet her within the year. Getting into a more historical series, we see an adaptation of the novel and manga Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gentoushou by Tokuhama Animation Lab. In the Edo period, Gento serves as a protector of a priestess at a village shrine when he is tasked to slay a demon that threatens said shrine. However, once he goes to the forest and confronts the demon, Gento is shocked when the demon describes events over 100 years in the future where Gento must confront the demon and defeat it. Gento now must travel through different time periods as he looks to hunt down the demon across multiple eras while coming to terms with his own dark nature. And now we have oh god. From the brilliant mind that brought us Rent-A-Girl then, we see the children of the Shiiunji family from Dojo Kobo. The 2 boys and 5 girls of the Shiiunji family shine like diamonds, with their smarts, looks, and wealthy father making them the talk of the town. The eldest son Arata has to deal with tons of teasing from his 5 sisters, but that has not stopped him from making his family the thing he values most. However, after the youngest daughter, Kotono, turns 15, the father reveals a secret about their siblings that turns Arata's world around. So, quick spoilers since I read chapter 1, they're revealed to be non-blood related siblings, and since this is a romance series, yeah, I'm not excited to see how the story develops. Now into a more legal romance, we have the futuristic Kowloon generic romance from Arvo Animation. By the same mangaka of After the Rain, this story in the somewhat distant future set in Hong Kong follows realtor Reiko Kujirai, who craves for new places in Kowloon World City. Her co-worker Hajime Kudo, however, enjoys the nostalgia the city provides and is put off by anything modern that seeps in. Despite the contrasting views the two have about the city, they find themselves enjoying the company of one another. Yet one day, when a prank goes wrong, leading to Hajime making unintended advance, Reiko starts investigating and begins to discover pasts she has no memories of. The first adaptation of a visual novel, Summer Pockets is a slice-of-life series adapted by Feel. Set on the island of Tachirojima that sports a population of only 2,000, urbanite Hairi Takahara looks to escape an unpleasant incident and uses the recent death of his grandmother as an excuse to come to the island and take care of her estate. Once on the island, he starts getting to know the 4 girls and the issues they face, such as Shira, who forgets her summer vacation, Ao, who is pursuing legends on the island, Kamome, who is looking for a pirate ship, and Samugi, who is still trying to find herself. The long-running Gundam franchise sees a new entry with GQuuuuuX by studios Sunrise and Kara. Living in a peaceful space colony, high schooler Amate Yuzuriya is drawn into the world of illegal mobile suit fighting after meeting a war refugee named Nian. Entering the clan battles under the name Machu, she pilots GQuuuuX, where she throws herself into battle day after day. However, the world she inhabits is about to enter a new era, as an unidentified Gundam being pursued by authorities pops up before her along with its pilot, Shuji. Uma Musume returns with the spin-off title Cinderella Grey as Saigame Pictures continues adapting the franchise. The story will follow Oguri Cap, following her time at Kasamatsu Training Center Academy and her pursuit of becoming a legendary horse girl. Next up, we see a slice-of-life adventure story with Zatsu Tabi, That's Journey by the studio Makaria. The story follows a young manga artist named Chika Suzagamori, who can't seem to crack into the industry as every one of her drafts gets rejected. Almost giving up, Chika decides to travel in order to gain experiences and help make the breakthrough she needs as a manga artist. Going into our second witchcraft-based anime, we see Once Upon a Witch's Death by EMT Squared. After Witch Apprentice Meg's 17th birthday, she learns that death awaits her in 1 year's time. Her teacher Faust tells her the only way to undo the death curse is by collecting tears of joy and growing the seed of life. In order to achieve this, Meg will have to ditch her sheltered life and head out into the world she knows very little about. Across new relationships and encounters, Meg will learn important life lessons that will either turn out delightful or heartbreaking. Now into another light novel adaptation, Troika animates The Two Perfect Saint. Philia is no exception to her family's lineage of being renowned saints. Being so powerful and gifted, it actually makes many believe that she is insufferable. Eventually, even her fiancé gets sick of her, canceling the engagement and selling her off to a neighboring country that desperately needs a saint of their own. Expecting a horrid time, Philia braces herself for the unknown as she leaves home, but this new land may surprise her as more welcoming than she believes. A classic 80s manga by Detective Conan creator Gosho Aoyama, Yaiba Samurai Legends gets an adaptation by Studio Wit. A samurai wild child, Kugure Yaiba trains in a jungle with his father Kenjiro. After ending up unintentionally returning to Japan, Yaiba encounters Onimaru Takashi, someone who has acquired the legendary demon sword. After discovering he's a legendary warrior, Yaiba must go on an adventure to hone his skills in order to defeat the demonic Takeshi. The popular fighting game franchise Guilty Gear gets an anime with Guilty Gear Strive Duel Riders animated by Sanzijin. After technology and science declines, humanity creates a forbidden biological weapon known as gears that eventually turn against humanity in an act of rebellion. Although humanity survives the conflict known as the Crusades, the losses are felt for decades with emotional scars still unhealed. Fast forward, and now Sin Kisuke is heading to his parents' wedding, a controversial one at that, as his father Kai is a human, while his mother Dizzy is a gear. Even with the world at peace, it took several years for this wedding to actually take place. During this ceremony, however, a peculiar girl who despises gears appears, and her encounter with the partially gear-blooded Sin will set the stage for the world's next act. Although I've never actually played a Guilty Gear game myself, I am somewhat of a fan of the lore and how absurd it is, so if this gets good scores early on, I'll probably check it out. Going into a music series, we see Rock is the Lady's Modesty by Bandai Namco Pictures. Starting at an elite all-girls school after her mother remarries a real estate tycoon, Lilisa Suzunomiya is forced to leave behind guitar and rock music to fit in with the refined student body. However, her love for rock is rekindled after meeting a skilled drummer playing in an old school building. Sharing their interest for this type of music, the two girls embrace their inner rock star by pursuing the rougher sound inside the elegant academy. Up next we have... yeah, I ain't saying all that, so I'm gonna call it Girl Who Gets Gorilla Powers, and the studio in charge is Kachigarasu. At the age of 16, individuals receive blessing from different animal gods. And the timid Sophia Leeler is caught by surprise after receiving the blessing of Gorilla God, said to be the strongest in combat. Looking for a peaceful school life, it gets upended once Knights learn of her ability and begins scouting her as a possible apprentice. Sophia will try her best to not stand out, but the overwhelming strength gifted to her may make that difficult to do. Serving up a comedic mystery, the dinner table detective gets animated by Madhouse. Reiko Hushu is a rookie detective within Kudetachi City, Tokyo, and heir to the renowned Hushu group. She tackles cases alongside Inspector Kazumatsuri, heir to the Kazumatsuri Modest family business, and her sharp-tongued butler, Kageyama. Kageyama is the one of importance, as his harsh words for Reiko's skills is backed up by his ability to solve any mystery that gets thrown his way. Delving into a more action-oriented series, the light novel Teogonia gets adapted by Asahi Productions. War is the theme of the times, with countless fights between human and demi-human tribes, with Kai being a boy who protects his village Rag day after day. Amidst harsh battles where opposition have great powers known as guardian bearers, Kai's comrades begin to fall one by one. When hopes are lost, Kai begins to have strange memories of a more technologically advanced world and the people's lives within it. Even though Kai is just a villager, he must use these new memories to combat the guardian bearers and survive the rough world he inhabits. Decoding a cybernetic mystery series, the light novel Your Forma gets an anime adaptation by Gino Studio. Set in an alternate 2023, the miraculous technology Your Forma has become essential to everyday life after its initial use to stop a viral outbreak. Despite its convenience, however, the smartphone technology has their drawbacks as it records every sight, sound, and emotion the user experiences. Electronic investigator Echika Haida relies on this technology for a day's work. However, her high skills lead to information overload being placed on her assistants, frying their brains. After one too many support end up in hospital, it is decided her new partner will be the android Harold Lucraft. Despite the mutual suspicions of one another, the two must work together in order to avoid deadly technological infections sweeping across society. And to end off this section, we have the anime original Apocalypse Hotel by Cygame Pictures. Humanity vanished from Earth many years ago, yet the Galaxy Tower Hotel located in Tokyo still operates like normal. The hotel robot Yachio is at its center, working alongside the other robot staff to keep the hotel in order. Hoping for their owner and humans to return, the robots continue working for what feels like an eternity without any guests appearing. However, a small miracle appears, setting a great change for Yachio and the rest of the robot staff at the hotel. And with that, these are all the upcoming anime you should be keeping an eye out for. There were no shows that were must-watches for myself, but hopefully some do grab my attention when they start airing. If your most anticipated show was not mentioned, that's okay. There are only so many I could talk about, but comment any I did not mention. The mount link is in the description to see every spring show airing, but with all that said, thanks for watching, and Ptok out.